Welcome to another Habs Daily News. Today, my projecting Habs opening night roster and 2024, 2025, and 2026. I'm going to show to you what kind of trade, signature, extension can do, and which players are not returning with the Montreal Canadiens year after year. Let's start with the summer 2024, where we are at this moment. Why? Because we still have a couple of players as a RFA. Albert Jakai, one of them. Then we have Justin Barron. I expect both players sign a 2-year contract. Jakai at $1.5 million. I'm a little bit generous for Barron at 1.4, but it could sign, I believe, at 1.2. Since July 1st, Ken Coley is the next player as a RFA next summer. But the date you can negotiate with the players at his final year contract when he become RFA the following year started July 1st. So Montreal Canadiens could offer at any moment a contract, bridge contract at 4 years at $5 million or a long-term contract, 8 years at $6 million for Coley. We have Strempler at the final year contract. I'm talking about Devorek, Armia, Pesada, Evans, Savard. All of them become UFA. The only player become RFA is Harvey Pinard. The situation could change for Harvey Pinard, but at this moment, they are the player maybe not returning for the upcoming season and the 2025-2026. So let's see the roster for the upcoming year. They are not my line, by the way, but I give you 12 strength forward. Caulfield, Zuski, Sakoski, Newhook, Doc, Armia, Gallagher, Devorek, Roy, following by Pesada, Evans, Anderson. Pay attention, RHP right now is hurt. We don't know the longevity of his injury. If he's not ready, I expect Barry Boulet to be the extra forward with Michael Pesada. If he's ready, RHP, Barry Boulet will be at Laval, and then you have in the lineup RHP and Pesada will be the extra forward. For my defensemen, Madison Coley, Hudson Savard, Harris Barron, Strobel, Jakai. They are my 8 defensemen. Again, they are not my line of the pairing defensemen. So don't say, oh, Jakai, you put him as extra forward. I don't know what it would be his injury recovery. By the way, we expect him to be ready. If he's ready, definitely he's going to be a part of the roster at the beginning of the season 2024-2025. Said that gave you now 13 forward, 8 defensemen, and 2 goaltender. We know Primo Montembeault is going to be the starter goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens. That gives you right now the roster for the season 2024-2025. Let's move on the summer 2025 until the roster of the season 2025-2026. What kind of move can you use is good. Now, summer 2025 to 2026, who is going to be an extension? I expect Caden Primo to get an extension of 1 year only is a RFA for $2 million. The final year contract as a RFA are Lane Hudson. Mike Madison is on his final year contract become UFA. Kirby Dak is going to starting his RFA like Hudson. Who is going to be out at the beginning of the roster 2025 for the Montreal Canadiens and 2026? I expect RHP out, Primo out, Harris out, Strobel out, and Josh Anderson is going to be out with a final 2 years contract. Don't be surprised, Montreal Canadiens trade Anderson during the season 2025-2026. And that's my expectation, and that would change a little bit the lineup now for the Montreal Canadiens. So let's check in the beginning of the roster for the Montreal Canadiens and 2025-2026 season. Now, the roster of 2025 and 2026, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forward. We're missing players, and we have 3 defensemen now are going to join the Montreal Canadiens for that year. And who are they? First of all, as a forward, we have Dimitrov is going to be a part of the roster for the Montreal Canadiens. I believe Montreal Canadiens are going to sign a UFA forward. Montreal Canadiens are going to trade for a prospect players or a player established in NHL like example, Kirby Dak trade or Alex Newhook. That will give another forward top 9 for the Montreal Canadiens. Then I expect Emil Henneman, a transition player for the Montreal Canadiens, be a part of that roster 2025-2026. We're going to get Jakai as the extra forward for the Montreal Canadiens. Now, as a center, for line, it will be the first year is Owen Beck complete the 13th forward for the Montreal Canadiens. As a defenseman, it will be the year where Logan Mailloux and David Rebacker are going to join the Montreal Canadiens, and Adam Ekstrom is going to be a part of the 8th defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens. This is the 13th forward, 8 defensemen, and 2 goalie. I don't see any change by the Montreal Canadiens for the roster 2025-2026. And now, let's see what kind of transaction Kenyu is going to do during the summer of 2026. During the year of 2025 to go all the way to the summer 2026, and then before the beginning of the season 2026 and 2027. Now, the summer 2026 and 2027 is very interesting for me. You have to give an extension for Lane Hudson. I gave him an 8-year at $7.5 million with the Montreal Canadiens. The shocking news for each one of you is Mike Madison, an extension contract of 3 years at $4 million. Now, this is going to be the final year contract for Joshua Roy, Alex Newhook, Kirby Dach, the final year of the Gallagher finale. And I expect, of course, Carey Price be out at that moment. He will just finishing his year contract. And then with the Montreal Canadiens. And then I expect Montreal Canadiens are going to trade Justin Barron for the season 2026 summertime. Here, the roster look like for the Montreal Canadiens for the season 2026 and 2027. Now, for the season 2026-2027, now we don't have a lot of old like he was the year prior to that, because we have only 2 departures, and I'm talking about Emil Henneman not going to returning at the beginning of the season 2026-2027, and then we trade Justin Barron. Put this all together, we have 3 old to fix. Why? Because I'm going to have a new goaltender. For the Montreal Canadiens, I'm going to have an extra forward, and I'm talking about Oliver Kapanen and possible Michael Edge be a part of the Montreal Canadiens roster at that year. And Jekal is going to be the extra forward for the Montreal Canadiens. Now, for the defenseman, I have a new defenseman. A yes is coming from where? From Russia. And Konishkab is going to start with the Montreal Canadiens for the season 2026-2027. And finally, the Montreal Canadiens are going to start as the goaltender. Jacob Fuller is going to be a part of the roster for Montreal Canadiens. And then I want to bring you now on the summer 2027, what Montreal Canadiens are going to do. Allowed to over-delivery. For the Montreal Canadiens are going to extend Kirby Dach a 6-year contract at $7.5 million. Joshua Roy is going to get a 4-year contract at $4 million. That will give him a second contract with the Montreal Canadiens. Alex Newhook is going to get an extension of 6 years at $6 million. And then the final year contract, of course, Roy, Dach, Newhook. Gallagher will be out after the following year. And then at the end, the Montreal Canadiens are losing a first Carey Price. Justin Barron is going to be traded, and finally, Gallagher will be out, like I mentioned to you. So this is going to happening during the season 2026 until to the trade deadline, and then following for the summer to prepare, yes, the season 2027-2028. So that give you guys, for the Montreal Canadiens, my projecting opening night roster and the next 3 years, 2024, 2025, 2026. Oh, many of you will be a little bit hard on me, said, how can you see the future? This is only projection, nothing else. But at the end of the day, I would love to hear from you. What do you think about this? Is it the way you see the future with the Montreal Canadiens? How bad I'm wrong? And if you agree with my extension contract or not? Of course, I pay attention on the salary cap increasing year after year to offering different contracts for different players. Until the next time, my friend, click on the like, subscribe, and of course, tell me if I was right or wrong. And remember, you have greatness inside of you, and we wish you an amazing, great, blessed day, everybody.